Google Calendar. To start out with, Google Calendar is an amazing feature. I use it all the time. I love it in the fact that I can let students edit it and then give me information, and I can share and give information to them. So it's a great way to get information back and forth to a student in ways that, like this. A student is going to be gone for a day. Maybe it's like a week away or a vacation coming up. You can actually have that student go into Google Calendar and remind you that they're going to be gone. And that you can give them points for it. Another thing is I hire out students all the time for like different things. Like I have a photography job out there and I need to have 2 students go to a certain location and shoot it. Well, I can put the event in here and they can sign up for that event using the calendar. Some other things I do is sign out equipment. So sometimes I'll have a piece of equipment, and when a student borrows it, I can go into Google Calendar and say, okay, they borrowed this camera, here's the serial number, and here's where it's due back. So just some examples on how to use it. But let's take it a little slower and maybe create a new one. So what I'm going to do is first share with you how to create a calendar. Under here, I can click Create New Calendar. Now, I've already made a calendar, so I'll say this, fill out all the details, make it very big and broad, and keep it related to the class or the organization. Think about, you want a public calendar, you probably want a private calendar, and then you want a shared calendar. So there's 3 calendars that I always keep handy. One, I can just have reminders of me getting paid or events coming up. The second one would be all the events in the entire school or maybe just the classroom. And the other one would be students checking in, checking out cameras, applying for jobs and everything else. So that's what I do. I do 3 different calendars. That being said, let's go. Once you fill this out and hit Create Calendar, there it is. Here's the problem. The problem comes when you go and click here and say share this calendar. I can make it public, but I don't want to make it public. I just want to make it so only my students can see it. Well, there's a problem. Let's say I have 30 students. Well, in here, when I go to share this calendar, notice I can only type in 1 email address at a time. Ooh. Times 30. Ugh. So I'll show you a way that you can export your Gmail out and then import it back in. So here's what I do. Here's my English 11-12, just for an example, and I have 2 students. Keep in mind there could be 50 here. What I'm going to do is go More, Export, and export this group. This is the group that I want to share the calendar with. And I'm going to save this. I'll throw it on my desktop. Well, I'm going to go to Documents, and I'm going to destroy one of these because I already did this once as practice. So what I'm going to do is go to an Excel. So I can create a new one, like spreadsheet, or I have one here. And then I'm going to go to File, Import, browse out, and choose that CSV file. This will say create a new spreadsheet with automatic delimitation. And you can look here, yes, it is delimited, and that means separated by a character of some nature. I think it's actually comma, but this is a great way to import all of your contacts into a location. Let's go out and look at this. So I can go back to Google Docs, look at the Google, and here it is. So look at all this great information. I can have telephone numbers, etc. and so forth, maiden names, birthday, yes, that's true. On your contacts, there is a birthday field. That's great for students. Hobbies. Some of this stuff is just too much information, but right here's what's important. So you want to click and drag and highlight as many students as you can and hit Control C. Then you need to go to Calendar. Go to the calendar that you want to share out and go to Share this calendar. And here we can Control V, Control Victor, and hit Save. This will import all your students in, and you can say Invite. That'll email them and say, hey, you have a calendar waiting for you. Your instructor is sharing this with you. Please join it. And once they do, they see all the events. But what's great about this is this. Let's go to Share this calendar and look at, here's Bob Smith, one of the students, and he can make changes to events. I wouldn't say make changes in manage sharing because they can actually invite other users that you might not want. So I like to make changes to events. And let's save that out. Now they can do that. To make a new event, you just double click in here and you can say photo shoot 1 p.m. Now if I put 1 p.m. up here, it will automatically kind of see that, and when I click on it, I can go edit event. I can go in here and find a time, and notice sometimes it'll actually make a 1 o'clock. Okay, and sometimes it does not. In this case, what I want to do is put a block of time in here, say 1 to 2, that this student needs to be at a certain location. Okay, I could save that out, and now it is 1 p.m. I can get rid of the title if I wanted to, like edit event, and I can nail this out. There's a 1 p.m. photo shoot. I can put the description here, Bob's Donut Hut. Okay, whoops. Yeah, there we go. And I can color it whatever I want. Pretty neat. So the color, I color code them. Like green is meaning I need somebody to do this. Red means something's checked out. You know, I got a little color code system that's pretty neat, but I can't show you any of this because it's all private, so I have to use this sample thing, unfortunately. Now, let's say I'm moving this around. I can move this wherever I want without going and typing it again. So sometimes I can just move this photo shoot ahead a day. Pretty neat. Now, Sunday through Saturday, I always thought that would be a little bit hard for students to understand. So, if you go to Account Settings, go to Calendar Settings, and now you can choose week starts on Monday. So, that's for teachers. Show weekends. No. And there's a lot of different things that you can do in here, but for right now I got a Monday through Friday calendar now for students. Now, anything else? Well, shoot, there's so much, but I'm running out of time here. I will say that if you want, what happens is you can type in now your email address. The student can do that, and they can find your calendar. And if colleagues want to share your calendar, or you want to find theirs, you just type in their email address here. Also, there's a display only this calendar. So now I don't display my personal calendar in the middle of class. And I can check this on and off and toggle it. So that is using Google Calendar, the nuts and bolts of it, and enjoy.